Ezekiel 7 through 9. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, You, son of man, this is what Adonai Yahweh says to Eretz Israel. An end, the end has come on the four corners of the land. Now is the end of you, and I will send my anger on you, and will judge you according to your ways. I will bring on you all your abominations, and my eye will not spare you, neither will I have pity. But I will bring your ways on you, and your abominations will be among you. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. This is what Adonai Yahweh says. An evil, a singular evil, behold, it comes. An end has come. The end has come. It has awakened against you. Behold, it comes. Your doom has come to you, inhabitant of the land. The time has come. The day is near, a day of tumult, and not of joyful shouting on the mountains. Now I will shortly pour out my wrath on you, and will accomplish my anger against you, and will judge you according to your ways. I will bring on you all your abominations. My eye will not spare, neither will I have pity. I will punish you according to your ways. Your abominations will be among you. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, who smites. Behold, the day, behold, it comes. Your doom has gone out. The rod has blossomed. Pride has budded. Violence has risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them will remain, nor of their multitude, nor of their wealth. There will be nothing of value among them. The time has come, the day draws near. Do not let the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is on all its multitude. For the seller will not return to the which is sold, although they are still alive, for the vision concerns the whole multitude of it. None will return, none will strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. They have blown the shofar, and have made all ready. But no one goes to the battle, for my wrath is on all its multitude. The sword is outside, and pestilence and famine within. He who is in the field will die by the sword, and he who is in the city will be devoured by famine and pestilence. But those who escape, they will escape and will be on the mountains like doves in the valleys, all of them moaning, everyone in his iniquity. All the hands will be feeble, and all the knees will be weak as water. They will also clothe themselves with sackcloth, and horror will cover them. Shame will be on all faces, and baldness on all their heads. They will cast their silver in the streets, and their gold with their unclean thing. Their silver and their gold will not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They will not satisfy their souls or fill their bellies, because it has been the stumbling block of their iniquity. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set in it majesty, but they made the image of their abominations and their detestable things therein. Therefore I have made it to them as an unclean thing. I will give it unto the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a plunder, and they will profane it. And I will also turn my face from them, and they will profane my secret place. Robbers will enter into it and profane it. Make chains, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Therefore I will bring the worst of the nations, and they will possess their houses. I will also make the pride of the strong to cease. Their holy places will be profaned. Destruction comes. They will seek peace, and there will be none. Mischief will come on mischief, and rumor will be on rumor. They will seek a vision of the prophet, but Torah will perish from the Kohen, and counsel from the elders. The king will mourn, and the prince will be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land will be troubled. I will do to them after their way, according to their own judgments. I will judge them. They will know that I am Yahweh. It will come to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in the house, the elders of Judah sat before me, and the hand of Adonai Yahweh fell on me there. There I looked, and behold, a likeness, as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his waist downward fire, and from his waist upward as the appearance of brightness, as it were glowing metal. He stretched out the form of a hand, and took me by the lock of my head, and the Ruach lifted me up between heaven and earth, and brought me a vision of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the gate of the inner court that looks towards the north, where there was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provokes to jealousy. Behold, The glory of God of Israel was there, behold, according to the appearance that I saw on the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, lift up your eyes now, and the way toward the north. So I lifted up my eyes the way toward the north, and saw northward of the gate of the altar of this image of jealousy in the entry. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they do, the great abominations that the house of Israel commit here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But you will again see yet another great abominations, and be brought to the door of the court. And when he looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And he said to me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. When I had dug in the wall, I saw a door. And he said to me, Go in, and see a wicked abominations that they do here. So I went and looked, and behold, every sort of creeping thing, abominable animals, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed around on the wall. 70 men of elders of the house of Israel stood before them. In the middle of them, Jehazaniah, the son of Shaphan, stood, every man in his censer in his hand. And the smell of the cloud of incense went up. And they said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in his room of imagery. For they say, Yahweh does not see us, has forsaken the land. He said to me, You will again see more of the great abominations which they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the house of Yahweh, which was toward the north, and I saw women sit there weeping in Tammuz. He said to me, Have you seen this, son of man? You will see yet greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner courts of the house of Yahweh, and I saw the door of the temple of Yahweh brought between the porch and the altar. There were about 25 men, with their backs towards the temple of Yahweh and their faces toward the east, and they were worshipping the sun toward the east. Then he said to me, Have you seen this, son of man? Is it a light thing that the house of Judah, that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and they turned again to provoke me to anger. Behold, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore I will also deal in wrath. My eye will not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet I will not hear them. Then he cried in my ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause those who are in charge of the city to draw near, each man with a destroying weapon in his hand. Behold, 6 men came from the way of the upper gate, which lies toward the north, every man with the slaughter weapon in his hand. 1 man in the middle, and was clothed in linen, with the writer's inkhorn by his side. They went in and stood beside the bronze altar. The glory of God of Israel went up from the cherub, whereupon it was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed in linen, who had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And Yahweh said to him, Go through the middle of the city, through the middle of Jerusalem, and set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry over the abominations that are done within it. To the others he said, In my hearing, go through the city after him and strike. Do not let your eye spare, neither have pity. Kill utterly the old men, the young men, the virgin, little children, the women. Do not come near any man whom is the mark. Begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the old men who were before the house, and they said to them, Defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go out. They went out and struck in the city. While they were killing, and I was left, I fell on my face and cried and said to O Adonai, Yahweh, will you destroy all the residue of Israel in your pouring out of the wrath on Jerusalem? Then he said to me, The iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceedingly great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perversion. For they say Yahweh has forsaken the land, and Yahweh does not see. As for me also, my eye will not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will bring their own way on their head. And behold, the man clothed in linen who had the inkhorn by his side reported the manner, saying, I have done as you commanded me.